women empowerment is issues about financial inclusion of women. As I was coming here this evening, I saw an article in the Business Daily which talked about something which was done by UN Women, which was saying the benefit of empowering women is businesses are boosted in productivity. I know that was also mentioned by the chair of KEPSA. We have increased economic diversity and income equality. Number two, part of the data which I wanted to really share is, I know this is historical a bit, but sometimes in 2015, we had a survey by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, which indicated that there were about 1.3 million MSMEs in Kenya. Now, those MSMEs in Kenya, they formed 91% of the business enterprises in Kenya. Of course, we have the large enterprises. But my point here is, out of the 1.3 million enterprises owned and SMEs, 48% of them were owned by women. So that conversation, which now becomes extremely important, is critical for discussion to see how then to enhance financial inclusion of women. And this is exactly why Women Enterprise Fund was established way back in 2007. So what have we done? And before that, allow me also to, for the benefit, I know one or two guests here asked me, what does Women Enterprise Fund do? So Women Enterprise Fund, we exist, or we are SAGA in the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizen Affairs and Special Programs. And we exist to give loans to women. Actually, we call it offering subsidized credit to women entrepreneurs. We also do capacity building of women and women institutions. We also build infrastructure which will facilitate women to do businesses. And here I want to cite creating decent workspaces. Then number four, we exist to create linkages between the MSMEs and also, the micro, because most of the people, the women we target, they are the micro. Then we want to link them to the M and the large enterprises. Then finally, we also promote, the goods which they produce in the local and the international markets. Now, what have we done? Because I think that is the question which you asked.
Yes.
We have done quite a lot. And I want to dwell on what we have given out in terms of, startup capital and money to expand existing businesses. But let me also mention we have 6 products. And thank you, because Honorable JB, you mentioned one of the key products, which is the Baby Now, which is at the launch. Actually, it was launched by the Cabinet Secretary. We give loans to, we are known more for giving loans to self-help groups. Number 2, we give loans to women, individuals who are in business. So we support those who get orders to supply. We call it LPO or LSO financing. We also give institutional loans. There was a time we used even to give. We exist in government, but used to even give loans to commercial banks, but we stopped. We are now targeting institutions like SACCOs because we thought SACCOs are, walking the journey with us to achieve our objective. The money we used to place with the commercial banks, they were not really very keen, to do what we wanted them to do to,
Yes.
Reach the women.
Yeah.
So that's product number 3. Product number 4, we have now launched asset finance. Asset finance is a new product. I know this is not very well known in the market. So for the first time, women, we will come either as individuals or in groups. Then they come and even, we buy for them motor vehicles to do businesses. We will buy portion mules for them to use in the communities where they exist. Anything asset, we can also buy. But allow me to mention this special product which my boss, JB, talked about. Last year, the CS, Professor Kobia launched, actually in this hotel, the Mini product. The Mini stands for, it means, it's a brand name for the product we target to windows. So this product has no charges at all. Of course, none of our product has any collateral, but this one is a special one because they are all the charges are waived.
Wow.
So we will be calling upon our leaders to launch this regionally in the coming few months, and possibly you also participate, because again, we want the money to reach the windows of Kenya before the year ends.
Thank you.
So we have been able to lend 25 billion Kenya shillings since inception. And of course, 95% of that money is through self-help groups. But that much we have been able to give out. And let me say, this concept, which we possibly would need to think can work for a government institution, the concept of revolving, where money gets out and it comes back. We are able to collect back money from the women we lend to, and now we compete very well with commercial banks. The Standard Chart is here. Our repayment rate now stands at, it oscillates between 97.5 to 98% every month.
Let's give the women a round of applause for paying back their loans.
Because, again, if you ask, the question which you would ask me is, where did you get the 25 billion which you have revolved over time? Of course, it's money courtesy of the good women, the very hardworking women we are financing, who turn, they make profits and they pay back, so that their sisters, their mothers, others within the communities they live can also access the money. We also do financial literacy trainings, because I know, and you know, that, unless you give that